showing.
It sounds just like that, but so much worse.
You're recording now, but on video, just see.
We can't record.
This is good outtakes. That's good. You need to laugh like that.
I've never seen you laugh.
Oh
Like that.
God.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I want to see the interview now.
You can't wait for that song.
God.
Bring on energy.
I think if
It's
I got on
so
a call
annoying.
with somebody like that, I'd hang out.
So annoying.
That's like,
Oh.
this is recording on video.
I know, but they don't know what we're talking about.
No, it is.
But it's really annoying.
It is. It's kind of like, you know, when you have.
Holy shit.
What's her
I
name?
haven't laughed that hard.
We're
No.
not going to say it right now.
Oh, it's recording.
This could be one
It's
of
Tommy
those.
Ward.
Be like from what was the film? I
It's
can't
super
do-
tan
What
on
did
your
Harvey
camera.
Firestein do? And he was, is that so wrong? Oh my gosh, what are we looking at over here?
I just want a podcast of Derek doing impressions.
I was like, I actually nailed one time. I nailed Christopher Walken one day. Linda about
You
pissed
nailed Christopher
herself.
Walken?
Well, figuratively speaking,
If you say Christopher Walken's your top,
I'm
I'm
telling you something. Megan, Christopher Walken's here. Yeah, he's got to come off the right way. Darren, I've got a proposal for you. If you'd like to come join me in the bathroom, I think maybe we could fulfill Megan's request.
He knows Steven Tyler.
Oh my gosh. Should we put these things on?
Why are you recording this?
Because these are the outtakes. This is what's going to happen when we're going to do paint.
Why am I so tan on your thing?
You don't like painting?
I look like extra
You look good. Look at me.
tan. You look tanner too on there.
Pale Irish ass has got some tone.
Oh, Jesus.
I like this. Holy crap! I actually have a color.
Why did I make this more out?
It's
You
probably
guys
the
are
two
rock climbing today. I dare you.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Tommy and Megan
Be
always
possible.
lied to me about rock climbing.
What?
They lied to me about rock climbing.
I do not lie to you.
Yeah, they're like, let's go rock climbing. And then Megan has a nail appointment. Like, Megan wants to get barbecue. Like, they lure me in
Everything.
with the promise of rock climbing. And then I just end up eating and drinking.
I don't see that as a problem.
It's
I
not.
see that as a positive thing.
That's why I keep falling for the trap.
Oh. Here, let me
You
drink
can drink that
our
or this.
absent co-host or our absent guest drink first. Damn. Should I hit this record button?
No, God.
You ready?
Where's our little thing? Where's our little thing?
You need the timer.
Yes.
Oh, are you talking about Steven Tyler?
Oh my God.
Steven Timer. There you go.
Yeah.
That's even better. Like, good.
You need to put a little picture, like cut it out and go on it.
He's so ugly, but he's so hot.
I mean,
I don't know what it is.
He has a really big mouth.
I know. Did Megan show you?
What am I doing here?
There are so many things. She just throws it. It's like slow pitch softball. We can just hit knock them out of the park every time she says something. It's like, oh,
I've never heard of big mouth as an attractive quality.
right.
Did Megan show you this? I sent it to her. Okay, so
If y'all are wondering what Megan did, she was like infatuated with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. If you're curious,
everybody else is too.
You should show this picture.
no.
Okay, so high school sculpture and ceramics.
You made this?
You
Yes.
did this in high school.
We had to make the canopic jar,
You couldn't pick it.
and I made Steven Tyler.
That's flattering. Not. Okay, maybe you don't show him that picture if you
Wait,
really
can I
want
put it on the camera?
to. Hold it
I want to
up.
see that.
It's amazing.
That's it. Wow.
It's awesome.
That's not the perfect character out of something.
Oh, look at the shirt too. Like,
If
that's
they had a
fantastic.
microphone with scarves on it, like everybody would know who that is. Right now, it just looks like a big mouth. But he's got the little belt. He's got like a little Aerosmith belt too. Aerosmith belt.
Oh, I thought you were showing us like his unit or something. She was like right down here. Thank goodness for that.
That could be an entire podcast just talking about that
Not
project.
this
That's something.
People are getting through research papers and that's fantastic.
Although you would never get plagiarized. Because nobody would admit that they actually wrote a paper about that. I'm going to hit the record button. in a second.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Folks, welcome back to Toasting the Business. And I got to tell you what, we have already been toasting a little bit. If you're not familiar with this, I'm going to throw this out in the beginning. We are on YouTube. And so at one point when Megan was on the floor laughing hysterically, I hit record. So if you want to know what that's all about, go over to our YouTube channel and check us out. But if you don't know who Megan is, which you should by now, and shame on you, look at my shirt, Perspective without the E. That is her business, and she is our sponsor for the podcast. So we want to thank Megan for being a sponsor of the Toasting the Business podcast. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate the libations that you provide for us every week. They are above and beyond anything you would ever get, even in the finest speakeasies around town or around the world. She is so precise and her flavors are really complex and wonderful. So thank you. If you want to know more about Perspective, go check them out at getperspective.com. That is getperspective without an E.com. And if you're thinking about a career, you're like, why would I check this out? Because you might be sitting there going at your work, scrolling through those job websites to find a new career, or following somebody that you're trolling on the socials. That's like, man, that is so cool what they do. I wish I could do that. Go to her website. She interviews all kinds of people like that, and you can watch videos about folks who finally grabbed their career by the balls and said, let's do it. And so thank you again. Speaking of which, somebody who grabbed their career by the balls, we're having Tommy Ward back on. And Tommy, thank you. If you're not familiar, we had Tommy back on when we used to be the Beer and Business podcast. And that's how we were introduced to one another. But we thought, what the hell, let's have Tommy on, because our actual guy ghosted us today and didn't show up. So Tommy was gracious enough to fill in. And it's actually, you know what? I'm really happy to have you back on the show today, because some people may not have heard about you back when we had you on the podcast before. And you're here.
I appreciate it.
And
Happy to be here.
Tommy is,
Albeit a stand-in. I'm very happy to be here.
you're better than a stand-in, dude. You are better than a stand-in. He co-hosted the podcast last week for the first time. Did a great job for your first time, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
And how would for folks who are trying to identify, or if you're going to, like Megan, because you've interviewed him for Perspective as well, and we've had him on the show, but it's like, all right, when somebody asks, who is Tommy Ward? How do you say it? You can't just say he's a smoky, Rat Pack, jazz lounge musician. Is that how you'd label him?
I mean, that's how you did when you introduced me to him. You're like, hey, have you interviewed a smoky jazz lounge
If your
singer?
eyes lit up.
Yeah, I was like,
You're
no, I
like-
haven't. Does he
yeah.
look like Steven Tyler?
No, he's better looking than Steven Tyler.
No, it is.
I tend to describe myself as a subpar jazz singer. That's it.
Subpar.
Yeah,
That's it.
subpar.
Dude,
Not very good.
no. What would you say?
Oh my gosh, there's so much pressure right now.
Yep.
I don't know. He's like today's Frank Sinatra.
Is it?
Yeah,
But better.
but better. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So Tommy just did a candlelight concert in Buckhead. And what was the song? The one that I said you did better than Nat King Cole.
Oh my God.
Oh, Route 66.
Oh, thanks.
Better than anybody I've ever like. I'm going through Spotify, like the songs in my head now.
Mhm.
Going through Spotify, I'm like, man, I just want to hear Tommy's version.
You did Route
Like-
66.
I did.
And it was amazing.
Give us one.
Oh, geez. No way. I'm drinking. It's not going to be a
That'll even
good
be better.
because someone's going to dig this up 5 years from now. And they're going to be like, listen to this.
On Route 636. Come on.
It was so
That was
good.
it. That was
It
perfect.
was so good. And I was just like, I'm like, man, the song stuck in my head. It was the last song. It was your encore, right? Did you do an encore?
We
It was the
closed with
last
it.
song.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
closed with it.
And so it's stuck in my head. And I'm like on Spotify
Okay.
trying to find this song. And I'm like listening to every version that's ever been sung. I was like, no, I just want the Tommy Ward version.
And he's not on Spotify.
He is, but
Okay.
that song's not on Spotify.
It's not. No,
Why?
I don't know why.
no, it's
Alright.
not. Those royalties are expensive.
Could you do the other? Who's the other guy? When you said the Route 66, I think of trailers, go sailoring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 50 cents.
King of the Road.
Yeah, King of the Road.
Daryl's pretty good.
That's
you-
awesome.
You guys should do a duet.
Roger Miller, right?
Thank you. Yes. Have you? Is that in your repertoire?
I've never done it, but I know it.
Drop it in there.
I will.
Put it in there.
It's a good
That's
song.
that is. They always say there's like the top 10 bar songs. Sweet Caroline,
Do that one.
Brown Eyes.
Mhm.
Those are
Don't
in the
want to
top
miss a
10.
thing.
That's a good one.
No, that's not in the top 10
That's a
bar
good one.
songs. It is a good one. But I don't want to miss a thing.
That's Megan's top 10 bar song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her ballet bar songs.
Well, D. Martin did King of the Road. That's amazing. I love that song. It's a great song.
You can put that in there. See, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Have you heard Orange Colored Sky? So good.
By who?
Tommy Ward.
Just like a Nat King Cole.
I've listened to your stuff. When we had you on, and we're kind of riffing here, folks. So just deal with it. But we're gonna get to the soup and nuts of Tommy Ward as we go. No, we're not gonna get to the whole soup and nuts thing. We're gonna edit that out of the podcast really quick.
Hey.
But when we had you on there, I mean, you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
And after we interviewed you the last time, there were certain people who I know enjoy that type of music. They enjoy the classics like that. They enjoy the lounge singers. Give me the Dean Martin, the Frank Sinatra, the Mel Torme,
Hmm.
and all those. And I'm like, you have to listen to him. And I was sending people links left and right, like, listen to Tommy. And this was back when you were still performing in Vegas. And I'm like, if you are in Vegas, go find him and see him, please.
I appreciate
You will
that. Man.
not be disappointed. But
Thank
so
you.
folks are like, what, he sang in Vegas?
Yeah.
Tell us give us a little background.
I grew up in Vegas. I've been there for my whole life. My family's been there since the 70s. So
You're
that's-
running red?
Sorry?
Are you running red?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, at this point, we've kind of just sort of taken everybody's team,
Right.
but that's okay. Yeah, of course. I'm still there all the time. I do a lot of private events in Vegas still, but that's where I got my sea legs, for lack of a better term. So I did all the lounges, all the big rooms in Vegas, and we actually were opening for a guy named Frankie Moreno at the time at the Stratosphere Hotel, the big giant one with the rides on top.
God, I know. I bet on that damn roller coaster.
No, it's that thing that jumps. It's terrifying.
I know.
Don't do it. And they're like
They
carnival rides.
It used to be the Stratosphere used to have the roller coaster up there.
Yeah, they closed it.
And they closed it. Now they do this like jump off the edge kind
Why
of
did they
plunge
close
thing.
it? So many people died.
It's just
Somebody was gonna die.
It wasn't really
They-
regulated.
Too much of Las Vegas was smattered with vomit because when you got on it, it's this really tiny roller coaster. on top of something.
So they've got 3 left. The one that shoots up and down is like an anti-gravity one or whatever.
Oh.
And then they have one that swings over the edge and you're like in a car and it swings you around like a
That sounds
carousel.
fun. Yeah.
So people got stuck on it for 10 hours once because it broke down.
Amazing.
And it's not just like you're sitting like this way, it like
What do you
swings
think
out.
they got? You think they got like a $50 gift card to Target?
I-
They got nothing.
Nothing. They
They
got
got-
kicked out.
They got a
Free tickets to the buffet.
And then they
Down at
have
Circus
this,
Circus. Not even their own.
they have this one that's like a roller coaster on a track, but it like does like that over the edge and like backs up. It's stupid. And
What's
you
it-
can jump off the side.
Yeah, what's so funny is Tommy's picking up his phone, is showing us all the different things that happen.
I'm sorry. I thought there was a visual.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. That's what I'm saying
There is
for
a
people that are
visual.
listening. There is a visual. But so you're out there, but this was at a young age.
Yeah.
You were young when you started, like still in high school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were performing in like Vegas lounges.
I was in high school, so that show, The Stratosphere, we did 90 shows for that guy opening. He's amazing, singer, piano player. And we actually got recognized as one of the youngest opening acts in Vegas history because we were 16 or 17 at the time. It was like a technicality, but I read that home.
Megan.
I have a question.
She's raising her hand still.
I forgot. No. When did you realize that you could sing?
So I've always known from a young age that I had the ability to sing, but I never really did anything with it.
How? How did you know? Because every musician I talk to, they're like, oh, I come from a musical family. Like, that's what people say. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I hate you.
Right.
But like,
why-
were
why
you
do
like
you hate-
singing in
why-
the
why?
shower? I'm just a little envious.
Because you
Just
can't,
a little envious. I
can you
can't
not
sing.
carry a tune in a
Not
basket?
in a basket, a giant basket, not a chance.
Wow.
No. But like what happened? Were you like singing in the shower and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound bad?
I don't know. There were some, it's really a blur now, but I remember having opportunities to sing in front of people and I knew songs just by listening to them and I could sing them in tune and have good tone and it would sound good. And they're like, oh, you're a pretty good singer. But
How
I
old
never,
were you?
like 6 or 7.
Oh, I hate you.
So, but I never thought, I was smart at the time. So I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this for a career. And so,
You were so, oh my gosh, but it's been a phenomenal career and you're
Yeah.
just getting started.
yeah, I'm trying.
That's
Well, you
amazing.
gotta get, what I want to know is, was it the fact that you could carry a tune and keep it in key? You could hear yourself keep it in key? Or was it the fact that you were getting recognition from the people you were singing for? Because there is that little, oh my gosh, I'm in front of folks. Oh, I like it.
I love me some recognition. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about it. I love it.
Well, if you got a Sharpie, I'm driving up, the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be on the highway. I could give you recognition on the bathroom walls and a lot of truck stops.
Perfect.
You want that?
Just put my Instagram handle on it or something.
That's,
That's a marketing play I haven't thought of. Bathroom stalls.
well, how do you think I met Megan? I mean, so we were, you've got.
Just draw my QR code in the bathroom. Just all.
Draw
You
the
should be in the bathroom
QR.
for 8
I'll
hours.
tell you what, I might get more marketing publicity out of that if I can actually draw a QR code.
Now that I could probably do.
Could you?
Yes.
After that, oh my gosh, that sculpture thing. So we were,
It's beautiful.
let's go back to this. You're coming out of high school. You decide that you're going to have a band of some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
How do you get, on the books to be performing at the Stratosphere or anywhere? How does that work?
So my first thing was video production. I love doing video production in school, and I would film the musicals and the plays there for just posterity or whatever. And I'm one of these days, I'm like, I'm just going to try and do this. So I auditioned for it. Everyone thought I was crazy because I didn't tell anybody that I could sing or had any talent whatsoever. And I got the part and I ended up falling in love with it. But I left there and I went to a performing arts high school in Vegas. And it's like the premier school in Vegas. It's called Las Vegas Academy. It's like a magnet school. They've got jazz, theater, and all these things. And I was in the jazz program. And they have a lot of opportunities to perform. And it's Vegas, so the events are huge, and there are a lot of people who are in the audience a lot of the time. And so I did one of those events for them, and somebody saw me perform. and I just got plugged in. And so, being in the jazz program, I also made friends with all the other musicians. And so we just got gigs. And in Vegas, there's, a gig on every corner. So we were at a wine bar for 5 or 6 nights a week in school or high school. And it was horrible. It was awful. People would throw cigarettes and stuff at me and drinks. It was fun. But
Damn. 70-year-old women with their walkers. They're Benson and Hedges at you, like,
yeah, it was fun. But one of those nights, the guy at the Stratosphere was in the bar or with his band after the show. And they're like, "You guys are amazing. We want you to open for us." And so it was just that simple, just the right place at the right time.
mm-hmm.
I have a question. I didn't read. Oh,
You don't have to do that.
but
That's cute. I like that.
Well, nobody can see
time
that I'm
Megan has a
raising my
question, she's like, "I have a question," and then she raises her hand.
well, I want to also top off your guys' drinks, but I don't know how to address the sound that it's going to make.
Just
as I'm
Ask
pouring.
him his question. That's more important right now.
Okay, so you're 6 years old,
Mhm.
and you're like, "Oh, I can carry a tune." I want to know about so there's so many kids that want to be athletes, right? Like they're like, "Ooh, I want to do that. That looks fun. It looks cool. It's exciting." But what about the work that you've had to put in? Like, do you have is it a voice coach? Is it a teacher? Like all the work.
No, I don't do any of that.
Like, shut up. Are you serious?
No, yeah, I had a voice teacher.
Okay.
You have
Like,
to,
I really need you now. This is great.
I don't do any work. I'm an artist. What are you talking about?
You just woke up 2 hours ago.
No, I did. I had a voice teacher and, took classes all that.
Do you continue? Is that like continuing education, or are you just like good?
Yeah, but it's not as regular now. I'll do like top offs every couple of weeks or something. I'll meet with somebody, but it's mostly just self-practicing at this point.
I did it again. I'm sorry.
Go for
Okay, so you sing jazz. If you could choose any other genre, what would you choose?
Any of them.
Anything but jazz?
Why?
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. I love jazz music.
You do, but
I love pop music. I love singing pop music.
okay.
I have a really connection to that. I love country.
Do you
Country?
ever do like shows, like a country show?
No, I haven't. I love. There's a lot of crossover with country and jazz.
There is.
Especially older country. They follow a lot of the same form. A lot of the lyrics are structured the same way poetically. It's really, they're really tightly knit.
Is the time structure the same as well?
Yeah, there's very similar like form sizes. They'll do like AABA forms as opposed to like verse chorus. Old Hank Williams songs are kind of like that.
Little 6/8 time.
Yeah, all
Stuff.
kinds of unique time signatures and stuff.
Like that.
And it's uniquely American. Jazz is uniquely American. Rock and roll's from Europe.
Where did jazz start?
Okay, you're gonna kill
In
me.
the South.
I know I'm testing now.
I'm pretty sure. Well, it depends on what kind of jazz. I'm pretty sure that.
Don't throw them under the bus on
I'm
this
just gonna
question.
say, okay, I'm just gonna say I lived in New Orleans for
I was just gonna
quite
say.
a while,
yeah.
so I could be wrong, but I have a preference. So I hope you say New Orleans.
It's definitely New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, and then bebop and all that kind of stuff. That's New York, Harlem.
Okay.
It kind of evolved and connected over time. But New Orleans is really the
Okay,
birthplace.
if you said Chicago, I was about to
Hold
knock
on.
you out of your chair.
Well, wait a second. You're talking about jazz? Or are you talking about old school, like?
Right. There's a difference
Yeah.
between
So-
jazz and like American standards.
Right.
Yeah.
So which one?
New Orleans, yeah.
You gotta be
So
nice.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's,
So
we
New York.
we could turn the
New York.
microphone on you.
The microphone is on me.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
Okay, so who are some of your classic jazz artists, your favorites?
I love the Preservation Hall Jazz Band.
Ooh.
Like that's kind of like that to me. That's jazz, but it's because that's like when
What musicians were in the preservation? Is it-
Clint Majan was the singer, and he sang some of the songs, but he also did the Barry sax. There's like, whew, I like Red Room, like so, like, whew.
Yeah.
And his voice is like straight out of the 1920s, and I just like
You're going way
no
back.
idea, yeah,
You have no
no
idea.
idea. It's just
So
Clint Majan,
if we
Preservation
throw
Hall Jazz
out like
Band.
Charlie Parker,
Charlie Parker,
the Honest Monk,
no,
no,
Miles Davis
you don't.
Miles Davis.
You know
yeah,
Miles.
Miles.
Anybody else?
and Charlie Parker. Did you say Charlie Parker?
I'm
Should we
just-
start there?
Yeah,
And
that's it.
anyone else?
That's it.
Okay.
They're all hacks. They're all terrible.
No.
They're all
Steven Tyler.
yeah. So when we go back to jazz, you're actually talking about Lennon.
So what
Well,
is,
we call it
okay,
it's
so
classic.
like, I'm trying to like think of how to word this question. What
Has
is
the
the-
mafia ever contacted
No,
you?
no, like,
to-
like, okay, so there's like New
I
Orleans
wish there
jazz,
was.
and then there's like New York jazz. So I don't want to ask another like
He's
shitty
not
question,
okay. It's
but
not.
like
It's not. It's
historically,
jazz.
how is it different? I mean, sound wise, obviously different, but like,
Let me give you this. So there's jazz. There's instrumental jazz, and then there is vocalist jazz.
Yeah, local jazz.
Right.
I think that's what
Traditional
when
So
I first
that's
met you.
that's the diversity. So
Okay.
you can't put him in the category of just instrumental jazz
Mhm.
because that's a category all in itself.
It's so different.
Whoa, way different.
Well, and that's so
And-
when I first met him and when I interviewed him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I sing jazz." I was like, "Well, I never knew that Frank Sinatra was considered jazz. I had
Well,
no idea."
That's the
So that's the thing is like I say jazz singer because it's the easiest way to get a point across really quickly. But if I were to be super technical, I would say that I sing like traditional pop or big band music. Which Sinatra's like a big band singer,
you could do big band,
but
kind of sort of, but that it's jazz big band
Yeah.
in its own flux. And where the issue is Mary J. Blige had the same problem a few years ago when she was talking about her new album that she released. She said, "I don't have a category. Don't put this in a category because it's going to drop in all the wrong places on all the different music streaming services."
Mhm.
And your category is the same thing. It's like, what category do you put this in? And that's what they tried to label it way back when. And it's not right. Exactly. It's like, it's not jazz. It's, if you could do lounge singer, that'd be dynamite for it, but in pop. And it's like, these are just classics. Why not just,
Yeah, it's just American standards, Great
Right.
American Songbook. The official Grammy, if you want to consider the Grammys a beacon, I guess some people would, some people wouldn't, is traditional pop. So like when Michael Bublé gets his albums nominated, I know, it's Michael Bublé.
he's darn good. I know I just
Wait,
cringed.
what was the
I like
question?
Michael Bublé, but it's like, okay, there's Michael again. Michael, if you want to be on the podcast, I'm sorry, we've already had Tommy Ward. You're not invited. No, come on back, dude. Tommy's like, yes, let's have Michael on.
No, he's great. I wouldn't love the music if it weren't for him because it's the first album that I got, as like my introduction to that. But
Are
then
you serious? That's awesome.
It
Can we
was.
talk about the road cases?
we can talk about the road cases. Yeah, absolutely, we can.
There's nothing to talk about. He has Michael Bublé's road cases.
I do.
What?
Yeah, from the Crazy Love tour.
You stole them?
No, so they were given to my school, like Las Vegas Academy, when he was there. I think they did something with him or something, and they're like, "Hey, we have these cases. Do you want them?" Because they're like, "We figure the Performing Arts High School needs these cases." And they came up to me one day. They're like, "Hey, we know you do this or whatever. Do you want these cases?" Because like we're just gonna throw them away. And I'm like, "No, you're not."
They were going to throw Michael Bublé's. Michael, shame on that school. Thank you, Tommy, for saving.
Those cases are thousands of dollars to make too. I mean, it's not a
They
cheap
are.
endeavor. It's
No.
really expensive.
Why
So
are they so expensive?
Because they customize
it's all
them.
custom, yeah.
Like
I could
the
make
inlay on the inside for every microphone, every cord, every
$1,000 though. I'm gonna get
It's
it.
probably $7,000 or
Fuck this
$8,000.
nipple making gig
You
you
don't-
set me up.
I got news for you. You probably should contact a person who does this as a career
Yeah,
for your next.
yeah. Road
Interview.
pacemaker.
It's
It's
the
so
same
cool
thing,
you
yeah.
have them though.
I'm very happy to have
It's
them.
so cool. I couldn't believe
I'll
I was
tell
like touching. I was like,
Michael,
what?
do us a favor. Since Tommy has your road cases from way back when,
I love this is an open letter to
we
Michael
would
Bublé now.
love for you to, fly down. What the hell? You got the money. I don't have to. Our podcast doesn't have to foot your bill, but you can sleep on my couch if you want. I'll make you a check meal. But anyway, if you'll come down and sign Tommy's road cases that are actually yours that somebody else wanted to get rid of and he saved them, we love it.
That would be amazing.
Come have a sidecar.
A
And
sidecar.
have a sidecar with us.
And if
This
you know
is a
Steven
dumb
Tyler.
country. No, stop.
Okay.
Stop. I'll tell you what, bring Steven in. You want to ask Steven to be on the
Yeah,
podcast?
there should be an
Yeah.
open letter to Steven Tyler.
Yes, I know.
I
He
got
has a
news for
girlfriend.
you. When he released Toys in the Attic, I was like 8 years old. Okay. You
Why
weren't
am
even,
I
you
sweating?
weren't even a thought.
I know.
Right.
But it doesn't matter.
I
I'm
was
older than
okay,
his current
so
girlfriend, so I'm
I'm-
probably too old.
I'm 56. So do the math, folks. When I was 8, that's when I heard Toys in the Attic, which is probably one of the best albums. You're like, oh God.
Agreed.
Oh, it's all gonna be crusty and dusty. There you go, Megan.
Love crust and dust.
But anyway,
Oh god, I know that's recorded.
so you're out in Vegas. What is your the best casino, the best place you performed at in Vegas?
Oh, Wynn Hotel, no doubt about it.
Really?
It's the best hotel in town. It's stunning.
Thank you, Steve, if you're listening.
It's all these open letter to Steve Wynn. That's it's some
There's an
rooms
NDA that he signed. Anytime I have to talk about the best place I performed in Vegas, it must be one of Steve Wynn's casinos. Why?
It's magnificent. I mean, if you've ever been there, it's just the next level. It's the best hotel in town. They treat their employees the best. It's always the best experience to work there, park there. It's spectacular.
Are you getting
Ballrooms.
paid to say this?
No.
I don't know. You said something about the mafia a second ago.
He better.
Okay, I have a question. Let's talk about you writing your own music. So you do write your own music.
Mhm.
What genre is that?
Again, I would say it's like adult contemporary, traditional pop, kind of, more grown-up pop songs.
Is any of it on Spotify?
Not yet, no. I've really been struggling with this. So I do covers, I do jazz standards, but I'm trying to get it super right so that when I release it, the fans that I do have don't scoff and, get turned off by it because they just want to hear New York, New York for the, 10th time, which I get. I love New York, New York, don't get me wrong.
Do you think you have an analysis paralysis? Because you just said you want to get it too right for the audience.
I could, yeah.
I was gonna say too, I'm like, the fans that you have, that was a high five.
Was that- Anyone not watching on YouTube?
I already forgot. what I was saying. The fans that you have, I feel like they're gonna love, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea how this works, but as a musician, like if I'm following you at the stage that you're in your career, I'm gonna love everything you put out, right? Like, I don't know. How can you not? How can you not?
I can't. I love everything Tommy.
And
my mom adores you,
oh,
by the way.
I have to say, so like Tom Petty he's like top 5 for me.
Love Tom Petty.
So when I go to
I
listen
do
to Tom
too, as a
Petty
guitar
music,
player. It's only like 3 to 4 chords. It's like,
I
I can play this as an Irish idiot. I can play Tom Petty. So,
Yeah, he's a legend.
So yeah, when I go to listen to Tom Petty on Spotify and I type in Tom, your name has come up first. Because I don't know what song was on there.
Yeah, you searched.
But
Yeah, you searched it.
yeah,
You search
I'm like,
Tom-
this is awesome.
you
I
search
love that
Tommy
guy.
Ward, and it's like
Yeah.
all the time.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Which like that's awesome.
Why do you think you have to? How much better could your music get?
Well, it's just people, it's kind of like know your audience 101. It's people really know what they like. And so it's sort of starting over. It's not really starting over, but it kind of is in a lot of ways, like introducing a new product or something, for example. It's not going to appeal to everybody. And so
Dude,
it's a risk.
you recorded with Quincy Jones. Just give him, just blow up his digits and say, "Hey, Q, I got something for you. Let me send it to you. Get it out there." You want me to call Rick Rubin for you instead?
That'd be great. Yeah. Now we need to get Steven Tyler on the phone. That's what we need to call.
Yeah.
Jeez. Don't fluff that pillow anymore.
Jeez.
Okay, so when can we expect this album?
Well,
this record?
I'm doing the thing now is singles. You got to do singles now. It's not an album business anymore, unfortunately, because attention
Sounds like a
span is.
Vegas thing, doesn't it? He's a good-looking young white kid out in Vegas. I got to do singles. So
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, for sure. The cougars come out of the woodwork. That's definitely true.
You just told us earlier you wish you had more groupies because you chose jazz. That was wrong category for groupies. And if you're Tommy's girlfriend listening, now this is in the past.
He didn't
before
say that he
met you.
wished. He just said that it's like every genre but
Except-
jazz.
Yeah, and I said opera singer is your one up. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah,
back to Megan's question.
yeah. I don't even remember what you asked at this point.
When's
When-
the record coming out?
I'm hoping the end of this year, I'm gonna start releasing some like original music.
What about that? Nobody listening to this is gonna know what I'm referencing, but the song that you recently did the music video for.
Yeah, that was a standard. Don't get around much anymore.
I
It's on
thought you wrote
Spotify
it.
now.
It was
Yeah.
like, damn, he's awesome. You're still awesome. I just thought you wrote it because I hadn't heard it.
Duke Ellington song, classic.
Duke,
Have you heard Tommy sing the song?
I'm gonna go listen to
It's
it.
amazing.
It was
And the music video is awesome.
arranged by big band arrangement. It was arranged by Jason Goldman, who does all of Michael Bublé's stuff. So that was great.
But there's a connection.
There's a connection. Yeah.
Piggyback off him. I got news for you. He always seems like such a nice guy. If you said, give
Well,
me a solid dude, bootstrap me, bring me up like you were brought up, because he didn't do it on his own.
well, let me tell you, it's just, just between, I don't really want to say this, but I will anyway. I don't really care. Between us, all of us, whatever. I've been in so many label meetings with big labels and big people, and I tell them what I do, and it's awesome. But they all say the same thing.
They do.
Like, we love you. It's great, but Michael Bublé already exists. Frank Sinatra is already on catalog.
What was before Michael Bublé? Like, 'cause,
Okay.
but in that gap, like who, what? Yes. Oh, Darren's raising his hand frantically.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Thank you, Megan, for recognizing that.
I know I'm a
So
terrible
anyway,
host.
they're in the jazz category. So jazz is phenomenal. As all would agree. But what kept it on the major record labels and such was what the hell's the name?
Steven Tyler.
No, not Steven Tyler. It just went out of my brain. Damn freaking sidecar. Kenny G. Okay. So Kenny G, who is Kenny, I love you because you're a scratch golfer, which I give you kudos for that.
Forget the saxophone playing. He's
Yeah,
scratch golfer.
he's so average. Technically speaking, Kenny, you're great. I like you.
He's so average. I hope nobody ever
He
describes
is.
me that way. She's so average.
He is. He's just like, he's elevator jazz. Okay. But what Kenny did for the actual jazz community is he kept it on a major record label. So that's how jazz really stayed alive, because Kenny G came in and swooped up the masses, not the people who truly appreciate and love jazz. Not saying you guys are wrong. Thank you for listening to jazz, but he's the ones who he drew them in, and that way they could explore jazz
Yeah.
on a deeper level and appreciate it better. I think it's through all that.
And
through the shit.
Wynton Marsalis and Chris Bodie all in that same time period, and Michael Bublé to some extent too, because that was early 2000s.
And Michael did the
Harry
same
Connick
thing,
Jr. Yeah.
right? And his
So-
day.
How, I asked you this, not on the podcast, unless I forgot already, but
Ask them all.
how do you scale your business now? Like, you're doing these awesome, huge weddings, like you're doing the candlelight concerts, you're doing all this amazing stuff.
Mhm.
And I did ask you this, not on the podcast. How do you do New Year's Eve in Times Square? Because that's like where I want to see you,
Man,
not in here.
it's a loaded question because the answer is dependent on the goal. And my goal is multifaceted, which is to continue doing the private events, which I love to do. And it's obviously a moneymaker and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to share that. And then selling music, which goes back to the thing before about originality and trying to be different and separating yourself. Selling music, which is not really selling music. It's selling the experience, concert dates and merchandise and the branding, the subscription to an influencer, basically. Music is just the lost leader today. So it's multifaceted. So scaling the business, I can't be in more than one place at once. So it's really just multiplying my time, and then once demand exceeds supply, raising rates, which is already starting to happen. Like we're almost fully booked for the rest of the year past July. So it just kind of happens naturally like that, and then eventually, hopefully, praise God, hopefully, be touring nationally someday on a regular basis selling music. So that's really how that scales. And then eventually, like a lot of major artists now, you start your own record label and produce other people.
Wow. That's so cool. Your business is cool.
Thanks. I'm trying.
Are you gonna have a
It's
tour
hard.
bus?
God, they're so expensive.
They're so expensive, but you'll be able to afford it then.
I hope so.
I just want to know about the kitchen in the tour bus.
Well, they're like, it
They're
depends.
gonna come back and be like,
It's
how
not
did
like,
you guys get off like kitchens and tour buses?
it's not, well, I know like, it's not like an RV. There's no slides. So it's just like a really wide, like bus, but there's usually like,
Why would I know that?
well, I know that you like outdoorsy kind of stuff. And so RVs and,
Yeah, vans,
that kind of stuff.
not fancy, but yes.
so there's no slides. It's just like a big wide bus. And then there's like couches and then there's bunks usually. So there's like 3 bunks on either side or 6 bunks on either side. And then there's like a couch in the back. It's just like this big long bus. There's a kitchen, but it's not really a kitchen. It's like a microwave and a refrigerator and a sink. It's not really anything crazy. But there's some artist coaches that are insane.
Okay, he's coming back. So before he finds out that we're talking about kitchens,
I'm talking about buses.
okay, what about your band?
hmm
So you have some people that you work with consistently,
Mhm.
but occasionally you will go to a different location, and you hire people locally. So it's like, I guess I wondered, like, one of the questions I had for you is like, how do you go to name a city? Where are you going?
Like Minneapolis or whatever.
Minneapolis. How do you go there? And you're like, okay, well, I can trust that, I've been hired for this job. I can trust that this sax player is not going to fuck up my shit.
Mhm.
How do you know? How do you hire these people?
I have a musical director who you've met.
Mhm.
His name's Chandler. He's great. He was musical director for Wayne Newton. Worked with a lot of big acts, and I met him in Vegas. We've been working together a long time now. He's fantastic.
Wayne Newton?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a lot of stories. We should get him on here. Do you want me to close this, or is that
No.
okay? So if I have a show I can take a show anywhere in the world, pretty much. And the cool thing about jazz is it's sort of its own genre and language, but a great musician is a great musician. They can play all styles. So a lot of it is just referrals. It's somebody gave me your name, and that's really as simple as it is. And so he'll do some due diligence in the city and say, we need to fill this kind of band for this date. And he'll find all the people and they'll show up, and they're there on somebody else's recommendation. And you just sort of have to hope, that it works out.
Have you ever had somebody not show up?
Never had somebody not show up, but we've definitely had people not be great at what they do.
Do you need a bassoonist?
It's difficult because folks who think that jazz is it's just jazz. All we got to do is play a few chords, riff, follow the lead, let it roll on, and give each instrument its moment,
Mhm.
but give the lead singer
Yeah,
their due diligence there.
that was amazing. I think you actually just got.
If I had chopsticks, it would have been better. I'm sorry, there was a little fruit fly flying around. I just snatched it out of the air.
It was
Or
like
you snatched it with 2 fingers.
mid-sentence, you just like, I'm done.
But it's not as easy as people think.
Yeah.
Because you have to follow. You've got to follow the key structure, the tempo of what's going on. You have to make sure that the lead singer,
Mhm.
you, has the spotlight, but they each get their little bit of solo-ness,
Mhm.
right?
So when we do a show, we do it all on arrangements. So it's all basically pre-written. Everybody knows what it's going to sound like. Like if you listen to like a Miles Davis record, they're just going through, taking solos, doing all that stuff. But we're more of the Frank Sinatra kind of thing. Like we're playing this music down, as it's written. So it's a lot of sight reading, but there's no real guessing. Nobody's gonna do anything that we don't tell them to do. But if you ever go to a bar and you're like, God, this jazz band is really annoying, it's because they're call it faking tunes. And so you just play standards and, you know, you just go through a bunch of times, and that's the difference. You know, this sucks.
Your audience.
Mhm.
So,
Said you
I
and his
am-
mom.
okay. And I get it. And the other, and his girlfriend,
Thanks, Darren.
the little Megan. So, okay. I enjoy opera. I am not an opera connoisseur by any means. I enjoy going, but I noticed that the audience is typically older.
Mhm.
Would you say that's the case for,
Oh yeah.
okay, do you like, it makes me so happy when I see a young person at the opera, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not that I'm young, but I'm just like,
You
oh,
are.
there are, thank you. Yeah, I love to see a different generation enjoying music that is
Mhm.
not of their generation. So do you see, is it mostly like older people, or do you like, have you noticed any increase in the amount of young people at your shows?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
That's
so it's
awesome.
mostly the people who are going to attach to it first are, you know, the older generation is familiar with it more. But we just did a high school prom in Alabama. I think I told you about it. And they're
High
like,
school prom in Alabama that one.
yeah. So I took this call and I, you know, we're like, are you sure? Like, are you sure that this is what they're going to
Like, you know, this is what you do.
This is what I charge. Okay.
I
Yeah.
just love the whoever.
That too. Yeah.
I'm not on the Bucky's
That too.
price point.
This was
So,
like
well,
a private school. It was amazing, but we show up and we're like, are you sure about this? And then they went crazy. And these are like
Great
high
music.
schooler kids. Yeah.
I think the issue is that a lot of younger people just haven't heard this music. But once you can't not like it.
There's a lot of things you could say about TikTok and social media today, but it's kept a lot of this music alive in a lot of ways.
well, bringing these things up, and this makes me wonder how do you gain traction and maintain it? You just said TikTok.
Mhm.
Megan asked about it was a younger crowd. How do you capture that audience? You perform at a high school prom in Alabama
Mhm.
and not on the cheap.
Mhm. That's for sure.
But getting your name out there for those folks, that's a big thing. I mean, the older audience is easier to grab them and get their attention, and they're going to hang on to it and follow you.
Mhm.
But capturing the young crowd, I mean, the 20s and 30 years old who aren't familiar with it, with all this other stuff that's out there, that's pretty damn cool music. And I love lounge singer jazz, but what do you do for that?
I mean, it's like anything else, you know, it's not going to be the target demographic, but if you can get a piece of that, then that's great. And maybe it'll change over time that it becomes more popular, that younger people really subscribe to it. But the focus has to be on the people who are the largest share of that, you know, so that's my focus.
Do you think
Which is
that's
why I worry about the original music, you know, because they may not like it.
no, they'll love it.
They're gonna love
I think your voice, the way I know it, and here's how I kind of connect you with the younger generation is in what you're trying to put out there. I think you're like in the One Direction.
Oh God,
Dude, seriously.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
You see how tight their jeans are?
I
can't do that.
I'm not talking about
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like,
All right,
anytime somebody talks
so-
about skinny jeans, I'm like,
Well,
Yeah.
I think of
Yeah,
that
you're-
episode.
sorry, I had to look under the table, but his jeans are kind of tight too. You have a voice that's similar, and I'm assuming your music, without hearing the pop versions of your tunes, are probably similar to One Direction, and that they were huge. Don't do that to me. Hold on, folks. We all looked at the screen.
yeah, it's
Talk about
you know, it's not totally out of the realm of possible. I love their original music. I think they're great. Just any pop songs that are, you know, just love songs. It's just, most of the songs that people list are just love songs. You know, that's a big part of it.
We're gonna talk about it. I got a good tune for you that I need you to write for you.
For the are we doing a song for the podcast?
No.
The podcast ditty.
This is an actual song. But besides that, one of the things is a breakdown from a social media standpoint that I want to ask you is, besides the music that you're putting out there, and a lot of it can be based on the personality of that person. So we're talking about your personality. Do you do stuff on social media that is you? It's like really genuine. I'm Tommy. This is what's happening today. I'm going rock climbing. I'm going kayaking. I'm drinking a sidecar. Leave the sidecar part out because you may have.
That's the only one of those three things that he actually does, I think.
Thanks.
But I mean, do you post stuff like that on the socials, like the authentic Tommy Ward,
You should do
to
that.
try to attract a younger generation for this new type of music that you're trying to launch and put out there?
It's interesting you say that because I've had this conversation with some people that I work with, and the popular opinion is that everything that you do on social media has to tie back to your music in some way. And so if you're going to do lifestyle content, it's got to have some sort of tie-in back to the music because the end goal, and that's, I'm interested to hear you say that because they all say, just drive people to the music, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it should be a little
What do
bit
you
more
think?
raw and unfiltered.
I'm just thinking like, well, you can only drink like drinks that are appropriate for the era. And then you could just post about that.
True.
Yeah, but there's more than that.
There's so
Like,
much more than that. It's
we don't
unfortunate that
we don't
like,
need the 16 to 20 something year olds thinking that they have to drink a beverage. We want to.
Well,
Bring
this
them
is
to
this is
Tommy,
the
so
key
how do we
question.
grab
It's
it?
like, is it about like if you go buy a painting or something, or if you go listen to an artist, are you concerned at all with who the artist is, or do you
yes,
just
I
care
want to know
about
if
the
you
art?
like bananas or do you like what do you like on your oatmeal? But it doesn't, to your point, like it doesn't necessarily tie back to the music, but I just want to know who that person is.
Yeah, it's like context.
I'm surprised that the advice that you got was that it had to tie back to the music.
Well, I didn't. It's not that you can't do it. It's just it has to be done in such a way that's hinting at you're a musician. Because then if somebody, because it's all just on the feed. Like if you're on social media at all,
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
Things
like
just
if you're just
pop up.
scrolling
If
and
you
like
have-
here's this guy eating a like
Right.
grapefruit for breakfast.
yeah, they have no idea what you
Yeah.
do. And so if you only have one, it's literally like 1 second. Like the brain makes it's like 150 milliseconds before you scroll. If you have
What
that
if
much
you're just
mental
holding a
pressure.
puppy in every video? I
If,
feel like that would work.
I mean, if what he did was to tie back to what he's doing, because the whole point is to drive more people to listen to his music, right? This is his income. This is what he does.
It's the top of the
So-
funnel.
So
I got
let's
an
bring
idea.
let's bring it down from there. The top of the funnel is Tommy's thing is music. This is my business.
Yeah.
You need to pay me to hear my music, et cetera, et cetera.
Go stream it.
Like Steven Tyler.
Is there a light bulb over my
Right,
head right
okay.
now? Because I have an idea for him.
Hold on, I'm
Yes,
just
go
holding.
ahead. There's
keep
a light
thinking about
bulb
it.
like right
Okay.
over. Yeah.
But the
Go.
funnel decreases exponentially.
exponentially. Yeah.
Exponentially as it goes down. Thank you.
Would you like some more beverage?
Oh, hell yeah. But as that happens, it's like, okay, how do you grab people at the top and then bring them all the way down? so
Exactly.
they eventually listen, and it might be that 99-cent click on your single.
hmm Yeah.
When you do that, you give this is Tommy who he is, but then he's like, Tommy's eating grapefruit for breakfast. Grapefruit for breakfast.
So like there's a light bulb. Yes, that
Right?
is my idea.
Go for
He
it.
sings everything that he's doing in real life.
Well,
in
those
real
really
time.
viral videos now with singers. Singers are crazy. They're amazing. I love to watch what other people do, but the most popular videos now, it's all candid. Like people want raw.
They do.
And so you'll see the most
Authenticity.
exactly. So you'll see the most famous people doing just singing like pop singers or whatever on TikTok, and they'll be making coffee, while they're singing to like a karaoke track that they put on their TV, and it's like 50 million views or something. And it's
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Okay.
it's
I
just
mean, this week in the news, P. Diddy made a fun video that went out.
really.
The one about the video with his girlfriend? Yeah, it's like
Really, you're gonna go there?
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
That shit out there and you
Oh.
got it. Finally.
I was like,
So
No, I got it. I was like, really, you're gonna go there?
Why not?
Oh my-
We're gonna time
Why?
stamp this fucking podcast, folks.
I feel guilty for laughing right now.
That was a good one.
That's funny.
Tommy would never, ever do that.
It's all the same stuff. It's all marketing's all human psychology. You're trying to get people to feel something. So compelling visuals, seeing something interesting, or a great singer, a cover song you already know.
Like when the button pops off your shirt while you're performing.
I feel
Let's talk about that.
Now
Oh, yeah, let's talk
we
about
should
that.
not.
Yes, we should. This is
Was that
mechanical.
staged?
It's called mechanical malfunctions.
Wait, how
during
did you know
performance.
about that? Did I
You
tell
guys
you this?
talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I think we did.
Tommy
Yes,
works
sir.
out too much now, and so he had a button pop off of his shirt during his live show.
So first of all,
And
there.
somehow he got it back on while he was also being very humorous and like,
It's like
I don't know.
cufflinks, but different.
Let's
I didn't
explain.
know.
Let's explain further too, because it's some people don't know this. I had to explain this to a couple people when I told them the story.
yes, you work out too much, according to your girlfriend.
Tuxedo buttons are not sewed on.
They're not.
They're like in little metal things, and they go through.
And they have a little clamp on the back.
There's a
or
little clamp.
flip thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me for never wearing a tuxedo.
We'll bring one and we'll.
Okay.
So I was doing the candlelight show that you talked about earlier, which are really cool, by the way. I was so happy to do it. And I get on stage, and the first song, like I bend down to get my water or something, and like my button just flies, and I'm like, this is great. And so I had to save it, and I think I saved it pretty well.
You saved it really well.
I'm a
And I
professional
looked at
entertainer.
Megan and she was just like, the look on her face was like, oh yeah, this is par for the course. No big deal. He'll be funny.
It was traumatic. It was fun. It wasn't a big deal, but you know.
You made it funny. And then when
What
you
did I say?
actually-
Do you remember what I said?
I
I think I said I was.
remember about
I-
like 10 minutes in, you made a joke about it taking 10 minutes to get it back on.
I said,
and
like,
everybody
I
laughed.
think I said like I ate too much in the green room.
Yes, yes,
something
yes,
like
yes.
that.
That's what you said. Yeah.
So it was funny.
What did
It was
Deborah
funny.
Fine say last week?
What did she say about this? Did we talk about this?
She talked about faux pas that happen. So the person who's
Oh
performing
yeah, nobody else has any, well, but this is a different situation.
still is. It really is.
Yeah.
It was fine. I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
you roll with it, you let it go.
You could have had that
Nobody
whole
else
thing
notices
planned.
except you, and for you, it's a bigger deal. And the audience is really not focused on that button that popped
I will
off.
say that everybody
And focus
noticed
they were-
and he also announced it.
they were like, "Oh, that's what kind of show this is."
But it
You
was
should
great.
have
He
just
made
brought it all the way down there. Let's do it.
It's magic,
got,
Magic
like-
Mike Jazz Edition.
You got like 5 different. You got like 5 jokes out of that in the time.
That's
It was
good.
it was fantastic. Like it was a fantastic. It was
Okay.
great. It was like if you
Thanks.
staged that every time, it'd be wonderful.
But
Like
and
it was hilarious.
as we said, as a professional, you do this over and over and over. You practice for that routine.
Mhm.
So anything that comes up, you know how to roll with it.
Mhm.
And you rolled with it. It's like, and you rolled with it for the better. It's like,
Thanks. Yeah.
you know what? I do this shit all the time and it kind of gets humdrum sometimes. Maybe, you know, a bar mitzvah or whatever is here and there, but you got something like that and it's like, oh shit, this happened.
Yeah.
I'm so good at what I do, and I'm not bragging. I'm just putting this kind of in context. Like, this is my profession. I practiced it over and over and over, that if this little thing happens, I know how to grab it and take it and make the best out of it.
hmm
And that's what you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody in the audience would have known if that was staged or not. I mean, nobody would have expected it
Probably
to be
should have,
staged because it
but-
was so authentic. But I mean, you turned that moment into like the
It was cool.
amazing. Yeah, it was
Next
cool.
time the button pops off, do the Tarzan yell and bang on your chest.
It's got the whole set list. I'm just gonna write the set
Yeah.
list.
I have a question.
I will
Okay.
say one more thing just before I
Yes.
forget, that just a cool like tidbit or whatever that somebody told me once about talent that I heard. And they're like, you know, everybody has talent. You can do this and whatever, practice 10,000 hours. But it's really just talent is the best way to describe it. It's just executing skills with confidence. And so when you're watching someone on stage, like you don't want it to be awkward. And so like if you don't say anything, it's going to be awkward. People just want to feel like you're just a person up there. because they just want to come and be entertained. And so I still get really nervous when I perform, but I'm less nervous now because I realize I'm just talking to somebody, just singing or sharing something.
That's really good. And you admit it. It's kind of like admitting your mistake in any other form of business, right? Like, I screwed up, but I fixed it.
Exactly.
And you did that. And oh my gosh, I can't even think of his name. So the guy, it'll come to me. It really bothers me that I can't think of it. I can see his
Would
face
you
right
like
in
more
front of me.
sidecar?
No, not at the moment. But he is the classic co-host of the late night talk shows or evening talk shows. And he used to throw up in a bucket every single night.
Johnny Carson?
No, before Carson. He would talk like this, and I can't think of it, and I'm doing his motions. It'll come to me by the end of the show. But anyway, he would throw up in a bucket every single night before he did the talk show.
Wow.
So it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean-
Tony Bennett used to say that if you're not nervous, then you're not prepared because you have to be a little bit nervous.
You have to be. Every time I
But
got
not that you're not prepared. It's not you don't care. If you're not nervous, you don't care about it.
I had to do a presentation in February, and I just announced to the room, I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And then at the end, I was like, hey, we're 50 minutes in and I haven't vomited, and the applause was massive. I was like, oh, okay, people relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
The question I was
course they
gonna
do.
ask you though, some people say deserted, some people say desert. I say desert. What is your desert island song?
Desert Island song, like the only song I could listen to for the
Yep.
rest of my life.
For the rest of your life?
What's it going to be stupid? But the answer is, it's actually a song from a musical. That is a standard.
Which music?
My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
Lerner
Which
and
one?
Lowe. It's called On the Street Where You Live.
Do us a favor. Give us about 16 measures for that,
We
please.
can't afford to pay those
Nope,
guys.
let's do it.
Warner Brothers is going to take us down.
Do it. Okay, as long as we're under 5 seconds, we're good.
I've got
9 measures.
a version of it up on YouTube that's going to be much better than the way I'm going to do it right here.
He's had so
Yeah.
many side
Now,
I
now.
See, this is what I did not do to you during your interview. It's the dancing monkey. It's the dancing monkey thing. Darren, what's your desert island song?
If you say Steven Tyler, I'm going to freak out.
No, I can't.
Steven Tyler's not even.
That's a
on.
hard thing because I have this. All right. So for all of you out there, and then we've been looking at our guest all day long, so you'll see the back of my head. But I'm gonna turn to the audience right now. So every morning, I wake up with a different song playing in my head. It's I don't know why. Okay, it could be something I might have heard on the radio this past week. It could be something from way back when, or it's on auto shuffle. And it's like multiple songs running through my head.
What was it this morning?
This morning, this morning, trailers. No, that wasn't actually the song, but like this weekend I had some weird ones. And Linda's like, where does that come from? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, it's like King of the Jungle from the Jungle Book. Really? Because I'm the king of the swingers. Oh, the
Jungle
FIPIC. I don't know what's bothering me.
Louis Prima.
I know that.
Mhm.
So it could be that. And wake up to that in the morning before you even open your eyes. So it's all this morning. I don't know.
They recorded that live in a theater. It wasn't like in a recording studio, but they wanted it to sound so open and real.
Yeah.
And it was just on a stage.
And Phil was phenomenal for that.
Oh my God. Phil Collins for Tarzan?
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Now I'm going way back to the original, like the stuff that you
Jungle
actually
Book,
said.
right? Is that what
The
you're talking
Jungle Book, the
Yeah.
original Jungle Book. The guy who played Bluey, the big bear, was I can't think of his name, but
Another song?
Dynamite.
Yeah.
No, that's what he did in
Okay.
that song. With
Oh, yeah. Of course.
you.
Mhm.
I want to walk like you, talk like you. Oh, that's the wrong song. That's the monkey song. The orangutan song.
Mm-hmm.
We're all over the place.
I'm sorry.
We still
I
haven't
just
heard your
derailed
Desert
you.
Island song.
Desert Island song.
That's me deflecting. I don't know.
Oh, what, deflecting.
No,
What do you think it is,
I
Tommy?
can't give you one because there's so many.
Hmm.
Whatever I wake up with in the morning is the song. So, what do you want me to say?
Well, I mean, didn't we talk about Rolling Stones?
How about
last time?
this? Well, Rolling Stones is awesome because that's
We were talking about that,
actually when Linda and I first started dating. I said, "Who's one of your favorite bands?" And she said, "The Stones."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Okay, over the Beatles." I'm giving you kudos for that.
Are you
sure.
guys going to the concert?
I was just gonna
Huh?
say.
Are you guys going to go to the concert?
Give us a minute.
I'm going. I'll give you $70, but I'm going.
Did you buy
And I
this?
got a
You know what? I didn't get a text message from you that said, "Do you want to go to the Stones with us?" I'll buy.
Well, we're in the nosebleeds.
I'll get
so,
the tickets.
Oh, you already have tickets?
yes,
Oh, cool.
Why?
in the nosebleeds.
We would have gone with you, and I would have.
Well, my mom's going with
I
us.
would have.
let's get a box.
We have shitty seats.
Let's get a
I would've-
box.
I would have paid for all of your
Our
tickets.
parking costs.
At the Benz.
Yes.
You know, I got,
You want to see Aerosmith?
no, I got connections though. I probably could have got.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because I'll sell my tickets.
No, not now.
Oh,
Too
wow.
late.
Okay, what is your freaking Desert Island song?
Which,
This thing is flashing red,
Well,
and
I
I
have to
don't know
know
what your Desert Island
what
song is.
desert are we on?
This.
What desert are we on? That's gonna dictate the song.
What continent?
What-
Well,
That's funny. I don't want to miss a thing. That's what it is.
That's yours?
oh,
That's his.
we're so. That's the way to placate our guests.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to
Sweet
miss a
emotion.
thing. I don't want to live. No, that's not it.
Sweet emotion. That's a good one.
That
Sorry,
is a good one.
Steven, if you're listening, I actually like Aerosmith.
You like?
I really like Aerosmith.
You got two letters in the middle wrong. You need an O and a V instead of an I and a K.
Oh, these two letters, F and U. Do those two letters work for you? So, anyway,
I can't believe I spelled with my sidecars.
my desert son. I don't know if I was stranded on the desert. I think I want to be somewhere tropical.
It
So,
doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah,
but
Jimmy
Okay.
Buffett, Margaritaville.
yeah, thank you. Perfect.
Okay. I was gonna say Jack Johnson.
No,
Are you under a mango tree?
Jimmy Buffett, classic. Okay.
There you go.
First time
not a
I saw
song.
Buffett.
That is
was
an artist.
Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett.
Margaritaville?
Absolutely.
Wasting away again in my.
You would listen to that forever until
Okay.
you die.
Don't even listen to a song forever with me because I actually experienced that one time.
You were on a desert island?
No, I was on. I'm sorry. To
We're
my
off the rails.
therapist, they thought we got through this all the
We're off
way,
the rails.
but somebody brought it up and I was triggered. So there
I
was
want
a
to be on a
time.
desert island.
There was a
with
time
Steve
back in the
Tyler.
early. No, you don't. You really don't.
I don't think you do actually.
I got news for you. You're doing all the work
Okay.
all the
I
time.
know, but like,
And
look
if
at
you're
what I'm
stuck-
doing the work to.
I got news for you. Watch. What was the movie with Tom Hanks? Was it Castaway?
Yes, that's great. Okay.
Okay.
Can I
All of
tell
a
you like
sudden,
a 30
Steven Tyler becomes Wilson.
I
For
love
you.
Wilson. Can I just tell you a story about this movie real quickly? 10 seconds. 14th birthday party. It's like the first time I ever have a birthday party. I have all my like friends from school, and I got to pick a movie because it's my birthday. And I picked Castaway. Half the people
When
fell
you're
asleep, and the other
14.
ones went home.
The other ones went to, no, they didn't go home.
They're
They
like-
went to therapy. Are you kidding me? Serious? No.
Yes, 14.
It's a great movie, but
It's a great movie. I'm an old soul. I'm 70 on the inside, which makes Steven perfect
Yeah.
for me.
I can't,
Okay, Margaritaville. Where did we leave
I
off?
can't even.
That's the
touch that.
song.
That's
That's the song. Okay.
the song.
It's the only song there is. to be honest with you.
No. There's a lot. The song still remains the same as another song. There's a lot of songs, but no, if you want to, let's wrap this up because the timers went off, folks.
We've gone over.
If you're not keeping up with the times, what we decided when we rebranded the podcast, tried to do a little bit of reformatting. We put timers on it. So we cut the podcast back from an hour and a half to whatever to.
And by the way, please buy my records if you're listening.
There you go.
Everybody.
So we're at the end. The timer went off. The last drink has been poured. And Tommy is going to. Where do we find you, dude?
Spotify, YouTube, Tommy Ward, everywhere. Everywhere. you go.
TommyWard.com.
Stream music, TommyWardMusic.com.
If we're gonna put it in our show notes for the podcast,
TommyWardMusic.com, so you'll get everything from there.
yeah, I'm skipping.
Mhm.
And why would people want to book you?
I don't think they would actually if they go through the site. I think
Oh.
they're going to be disappointed.
You need the Quincy Jones quote on the homepage.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
up there.
You need to
It's on the
hashtag.
about page. It needs to be on the
You need to
homepage.
share that hashtag with us. Make sure it's legally possible.
Oh, it's there.
But no, it's dynamite. Tommy, I gotta tell you what. Thank you for stepping in today.
Thanks for having me.
Since our other guest, the blacksmith,
Who I invited. Thank
Yeah.
you, Michael.
not show up like he should have.
You drank your
Right.
sidecar.
Oh, he doesn't even get a little hashtag on anything today. But Tommy, it's great to have you back. I gotta tell you what, I'm so happy to see you multiple times.
You too.
Thanks for co-hosting the show.
Absolutely. I
I
love
got
it.
news for you. If you're not doing anything, come back and sit in Megan's seat from time to time.
Sure.
No, did I just get fired?
No, you did not get fired. I want our. All right, folks. I
On
read
that
it.
note, this is the last time you'll hear from me.
No. I always want Megan to be in the seat in case Lynn's not here, like this week. But every time we talk to Megan, and she's like, "Are you gonna ask me to co-host again?" She just it's Yeah.
I didn't say that. I said, do I have to co-host?
do I have to?
Don't make me sing.
Do I have to brush my teeth before I go to bed?
Okay.
Do I have to eat my vegetables?
I had to pre-mix our drinks because there
You
was
did.
nobody here to make the
You
drinks
throw
mid-podcast.
like
Well,
fit and pause and smack your toe on the ground.
I was squeezing lemons out there, let me tell you.
He was. He did. He's a great lemon squeezer.
I basically made the drinks tonight. Let's be honest.
On that note, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Just tune in next week.
That's
Oh,
funny.
God.
That's stupid.
I tr-
Oh, shit. Oh. And you didn't
Really?
even know how to say that. Oh, shit.
I'm saying no next time.
Uh,